so snowbally.
The question is SOAS good enough to handle Marin in that matchup, though? Marin has been absolutely ridiculously good this tournament so far. And do you trust SOAS to win the 1v1?
If you
In a matchup, he has to win the
Is it a 1v1 though?
Well, exactly.
Sure,
you have to. If you see a Fiora Riven matchup, you send jungle. You send everybody you can to
fine.
influence it.
Well,
all right, there's
Rek'Sai up, but this of course allows a trade of other champions. The Tahm Kench is available.
This has to be a Rek'Sai first pick.
Wasn't even picked last game.
It was banned,
Right.
if I remember properly.
Hey,
So-
you're both right. No?
Hey, look at us! All of us putting our stats into
I don't
work
think
here.
it was banned, but
Maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe it wasn't blue side banned, then I'm just silly. Well, either way, the Rek'Sai first pick did come through. There is the Tahm Kench.
maybe it was.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Either way, you were right that it wasn't picked. So 100% Kobe is correct.
So remember though, Thresh does a very similar thing, or Origin will use Thresh in a very similar manner. Well, they'll have Mithy trail on the side lanes that are split pushing, use the Lantern for a long range save of someone who's trying to control minion waves.
And if this Orianna gets locked in, I wonder why exactly the Elise ban came through from SKT. The only sort of OP they got from this trade was the Tahm Kench.
It probably just got to a point where they're comfortable playing any jungler into Rek'Sai, and they think that matchup disparity just is smaller than playing anything into Elise, because SKT have shown to love Elise. 5 first picks in 5 blue side games leading up to this game all have been on
Every
on
jungler in the world Elise is the top tier right now. So like you don't want to play into that.
Yeah, the question is
playing
the Delta,
into,
right?
Playing into Rek'Sai is much more of a generalist. She is strong, does have a slight advantage.
I'm not debating this
most
strength.
other ones.
It's the delta between Rek'Sai Elise and then Rek'Sai next.
Exactly. And I think
SKT decides that the Rek'Sai next delta is not as big. That's what it comes down to, and they decided that Tahm Kench is worth picking up first round. The Orianna, though, blind pick is very atypical. SKT have never, I believe, first round blue-sided a mid laner.
No.
Or red side, rather.
Easy
But
Hoon Unafraid. as
Origin
well.
to make their choice. Though the duo lane locked in here, Tristana picked up quite quickly.
Just want to get more feel of what Origin's going to bring to the table so they can cater their jungle pick, because now you have to go into, instead of like these generic junglers that work in every situation, you may want to get something very specific for this matchup.
And you have to look at the whole team comp as well. With Tahm Kench and Orianna locked in really early, it looks like a very defensive lineup coming out of the bat here. But Sivir being locked in to boost the speed here of the entire team. And we'll have another look at Bengi's Jarvan.
Well, that's interesting, actually, the fact that Sivir got grabbed, because normally we saw Tahm Kench do as well with a Jinx, right?
Yeah.
Protecting a hyper carry.
The hyper carry here is not the AD carry, it is Marin just on a top lane. This is, instead of a Jugger Jinx, Jugger Sivir composition, may just become like a
Jugger Fiora.
A Jugger Fiora composition where your entire lineup revolves around facilitating that top laner. A lot of the strong top laners in this matchup, in this meta rather, have weaknesses in terms of mobility. Well, that's solved. They can fall low in fights. That's solved, and you have an Orianna for these team fights later on.
Also, may I say,
You may.
the Kenshi is actually a big threat in himself, and speed boosting up Tahm Kench is very scary. Tahm Kench only needs like 3 stats: health, speed, and you can throw in some resistances and cooldown reduction.
Just basically
And,
health,
and
yeah.
he's good to go.
Speed of spells, cooldown reduction, great, more health and speed. Well, the last few picks here for Origin. Will they go back to this Victor for Xpeke? He played a ton of Anivia last week. Looks like he's back to the Victor here. The Fiora will get grabbed up by Origin. No, it does go back to the Anivia. So, 2 major carries, a nice back line. Anivia can do plenty.
Baby.
And now SKT say, all right, well,
So I do like this preemptive sort of attempt at a counter of a top lane melee carry from SKT, locking in the Anivia and Morgana. You can do a decent amount to hinder the movements there of whatever top lane carry, but it looks like just an more early game focused, sort of base damage oriented SKT.
this is what Marin wanted to do. This is the counter pick that someday had prepared against
That's risky though.
2 Tigers, and it didn't work out. Now the Renekton does come through, so it's not quite the Riven versus Fiora matchup, but it is Renekton.
Not even close.
versus Fiora.
I feel like it's
It starts with the same letter.
completely different.
You do AoE with pressing Q. I mean, this is the same flavor of champion in a lot of ways.
Origin with another composition that they've run a lot before, where they just have incredibly slow game pace. They want to get that Anivia rolling, and then later in the game, they can start kiting in the team fights in the mid game. That's what they use the wall for, the bindings, the black shield. And then in the late game, once they start sieging, this is an incredibly hard to defend against siege composition, because later, like I'm talking 35 plus minutes, wall on one side, ulti on the other, and Tristana only needs 5 seconds to tear away at your tower. So Origin with some tricky team fights here. But if SKT can close the gap, catch XPEKE with a single CC, the fight can turn, and they do have the tools to do that.
Yeah, and I feel like SKT do have an early game oriented advantage as well here versus Origin. Anivia takes quite a while to scale up there. And Renekton right out of the gate is going to be huge. To your point, Freak, the one real big similarity there is the riposte versus the stun that's hard to see. Renekton's stun is not telegraphed very much either, much like Riven's. So that is the really difficult part of this skill matchup.
You have to guess. You have to guess when the stun comes out.
And it's the really entertaining part, because then you get into the mind games of how early are you going to throw it out. Because after you throw a post, if you don't hit it, Renekton will punish you severely.
He will punish you. So we'll see if that punishment happens, guys. And you can let us know if you think it will as well. As always, tweet at LOL Esports, hashtag SKT win or hashtag OG win based on which team you think is going to take this one home. But right now, SK Telecom T1, 10-0 in the World Championship. They're going for win number 11. Origin want to win this one, make it 1-1.
Yeah, and then just an interesting matchup in the bottom lane too. Tristana playing against a Spell Shield, playing against the Tahm Kench. Devour can deny the explosive charge from doing damage if you're in Tahm Kench's belly. But at the other side of that matchup, you have Black Shield, and Tahm Kench only gets online once you get 3 stacks. That's when you get a super easy Black Shield to deny any of the effects of Devour or Tongue Lash. So
meanwhile, we have lots of champions toward the top side of the map here. Morgana moving in for the Tri-Bush binding. He can throw it blind.
Oh, wow. By chance, Marin walks forward. That would have been a flash down. And maybe even a kill if Peke landed Q.
All right, round 2, boys.
Marin's a genius.
Whoa.
Faked him out.
Well, they actually kind of have a bit of a surround on Wolf and Bang, but
Is the cooldown back up, though?
binding is going to hit Wolf. They're going to land the stun for Anivia as well. Marin buys some time, and SKT walk away. No summoners lost.
No counter wards though. There's nobody infiltrating Origin's jungle. So right now, Origin is the team getting deep vision. Marin moving in again.
They land the bind into
Peke.
Oh, and the stun lands. Exhaust is there. There's a flash by Marin, but it's not going to be enough. He will go down. Niels is going to get it. First blood to Origin. What a level 1.
And this is why I love Niels. Any other player would finish him off with a hit. Niels knows it's going to happen anyway, so he starts taunting Marin. Just hashtag just tilted, boys.
I would have liked to see the flare as well, but
Can't do that.
that's just bonus points.
Well, for the second time ever in the entire month of October, SKT have given up first blood in professional play. And now we're going to start with another aggressive jungle invade by the OG squad.
Looks like they're going to find the top lane up top for the 2v2 as well. Can Mithy stop the Krug, though? Because Tristana did get the first blood, but it looks like they've gotten away
Hits Wolf, though.
with the Krug there for SKT duo lane.
But it's a matched lane with Wolf incredibly low and the rest of his team nearby.
And more importantly, you have a potion advantage. 3 potions here on Niels picked up in addition to that longsword, because yeah, he flashed for that kill. He needs to get level 2 so he gets a jump.
Binding hit Bang,
no
wow.
spell shield, but
Should have been hit Wolf.
you gotta wait with that
Yeah.
with that Devour too. You can't do it too early, because then once you throw him out, it'll still do damage. So perfect timing there from Wolf. And good aggressive play from Mithy.
And looking for the knockup there, Amazing has the red buff. Of course, everyone knows where those guys started.
Amazing showing in mid lane here, though, as he crosses from red to red. So Bangi knows that he has nothing left in the upper quadrant because his duo started the Krugs, and he saw Amazing go across. So let's take an eye on, keep an eye on Bangi here to see how he reacts. This is one of the most difficult points for a jungler, when you know you've been counter jungled on one side, and you know that the enemy team knows it as well, and they're going to be defending against it. He might make a beeline to try and take away Origin's blue side, but that's so risky since his top lane is getting bullied here by Niels and Mithy.
Yeah, if he wants to go for that play, he needs easy own pushing in the mid lane, because Niels and Mithy pushing in the top lane, that could be a 3-man collapse there on that blue buff, setting him so far behind. Peke is showing. He's a good Nivea player, winning at the same time.
The other thing that you can do is level 3, Jarvan. He can go for a gank. He has all the abilities necessary here.
No flash on Niels, remember that. Black Shield just went down, so he's down for another 10 seconds.
Niels does have a rocket jump. Bind on Wolf, has to pop thick skin. And all as well, but Bangi's still around. Looks for the knockup onto Easy Hoon. He's going to flash away. And now comes the attempt for Bangi. Won't find a thing.
Amazing should be getting really far ahead right now.
OG knows this is coming. If Wolf walks up on this amount of health, just in the lane like that, going for a trade, you know you're about to get ganked. So Origin playing the necessary amount of respect. And yeah, SK trying to brute force a gank here for their bot lane, something they generally don't really do. They play around Marin.
Interesting. Amazing actually showing himself, giving up more information mid, but Bengi takes that opportunity. He places a ward on the blue buff, and he has Smite available. You can go for that really tricky Smite steal, but oh, he already stole it. Nope, that was his that timed out. All right, he's just going to leave him, and they just track Amazing. So Amazing is getting that lead I was looking for.
Bengi just spent all that time literally killing nothing. He didn't kill the Gromp. He didn't.
Scuttle Crab.
Oh, okay. He got sorry. He got a Scuttle Crab and a Trinket Ward. All right. Meanwhile, 2 camps over to Amazing. Marin back in the lane. He burns Summoner Teleport to get into the lane, keep himself alive. But look at this. Bang is alone up here. Just kidding. Bengi's there. Mithy's got to be careful. A great flash. Yep. Not so much alone after all. Great Boomerang Blade. Bengi down a half.
Yeah, Mithy really regretting putting down
That
a tormented soil that deals absolutely no damage rank 1 right now.
Yeah.
And then getting tower aggro.
Bengi, Bengi taking a lot of damage. Great pickup by Wolf. Amazing. Gonna tunnel forward, but not find anyone to get.
No teleports available from the top laners, but mid laners could make their way top for a dive.
Right now, it's not the case. EasyHoon has recalled, has a Chalice, does have Summoner Teleport. Wolf's at full health, Mithy at half mana.
Amazing also just tunneled over the Baron pit to try and get into SKT territory here. He hasn't gone back to base though, so he has no wards, he has no jungle upgrade for his Smite, and he can't get much done. What you need to do though, he's got this lead on Bengi, he's going to try and keep him down. Bengi's going to head bottom lane though.
Yeah, adaptation in this matchup to Niels using the explosive charge on very low HP minions to add 1 bonus damage to it, then proc the minion death for an instant AoE poke, because he knows if he uses it straight on Sivir, it will be spell shielded or devoured, so it can't use that. But bang with the reaction, good spell shield. So seeing some experience in this matchup already.
So Bang has actually been spell shielding even just regular minion death ease, which is interesting for him, so he's getting a lot of mana that way. But actually, the way the abilities work though, one gets spell shielded, the other still deals damage. So Bang trying to make that play, Niels plays around it by actually having both spells hit at the same time, still takes damage on the Bang.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Marin is eking out that CS lead versus Soaz, and Renekton getting to level 6 first. Very scary in that matchup. So that's why we're seeing Soaz play so defensively down bottom now. You have to respect the all-in.
All right, well, Peke still pushing EasyHoon in. Shockwave will not quite put him in a turret range though. Ulti traded. EasyHoon low on health. Peke though out of mana now. He's gonna have to recall.
Well, he's gonna need some help shoving that wave.
He literally can't even shove it himself. Marin is on the way, but was spotted by Amazing's Tremor Sense, but they didn't realize that there's the flash. Oh! Marin was still dashing. He couldn't land the auto attack to knock down Peke.
Yeah, too fast and not enough.
You almost knocked down Crepo there. He was so scared by that.
Too fast, but not quite furious there from Marin with that gank. He really didn't have the flash. He just EW would have been the correct play right there. Peke getting away with his life right there. But overall, both teams collapsing in the mid lane. This is something we've seen very often in EU LCS from Origin. Mithy pathing mid, dropping a pink ward for Expected on one side, then Amazing or Expected will place another pink on the other side, and it becomes impossible to gank Peke.
It's so necessary since his flash is down, and Nivea, the slowest champion,
Can't capitalize on that bind. Peke is stuck here. Really wants to push.
He denied it a couple. Yeah, 1 minute.
We're 15 gold for that bind, you know. Wonderful stuff there. Peke, though, still not recalling. He's sitting right now on 1,900 gold, so Catalyst here is waiting in the base for him right now if he wants to pick those up as his build. Still just sticking into this wave. Mithy, Black Shield to get through the lane. Neil's level 6 right now as the lane swap back to the bot side. Peke loses the recall, but there's no flash for EasyHoon. No, take it back. It's back up already. I expected it to be down, but it's already back.
Yeah, Bang and Wolf, they did a good job though. Staying even, CS being down this many potions and some experience early, getting like those Krugs early. Now they're actually winning these trades. They stayed even on CS, BF against BF, even though they were laning against triple potion and a longsword in a double range matchup. Honestly, fantastic performance from them to keep that CS even and just nullify whatever advantage OT had in that 2v2.
Keep an eye on the wards. Oh, the ward's in the side brush.
All right. Oh, Summoner Teleport canceled, though. Looks like Peke did not want to go after all.
If you want to pull that off, you have to wait for the commitment in an engage down bottom, though. You're never just going to
randomly teleport.
Yeah, randomly teleported to start it out. A Binding has to land, or Tom Kench has to go all in.
Great pickup by Wolf. Here comes Bangi. Mithy's in a really bad spot. Does not have flash. Does not have anywhere to go. Okay, Niels can live, but it's still a 1 for 0. Great pickup by SKT.
Miscommunication on the teleport, and then great gank there by Bengi. Let's see what else they can get off of it.
A lot of control on the bottom side. Actually, Niels about to be surrounded here. Look how far up Bangi is. Ulti forced just to stay alive.
They're going to get the tower lead off of that kill as well.
Nice play by Marin. Baits out the riposte. You can see plus 14 minions already, so as getting behind in the matchup.
And this is what Marin was talking about in that interview, is like, we don't need to allow them to make those macro level gameplay, shot calling victory moments there on Origin side. We simply want to outlane them. SKT right now 1.4k ahead. Again, another early tower here. And taking a dragon to boot, and that's what we expected from Origin, just playing slow, steady, farm up for late game, but a team as smart as SKT will punish you for that eventually.
And look how quick they're even playing. Land the smite, walk back to mid lane, let Sivir finish it off, make sure these waves are under control, and look at this, amazing. Stalking Marin through the jungle. Marin had ulted to hold mid lane, I believe.
Looks like they are prepping for the dive as they send Mithy up as well.
Turret's plenty healthy though. Summoner teleport up for Easy, who he can defend
Down
Marin
for
here.
Peke.
No
That's at the
ulti
bottom
on
lane.
Marin. Amazing will pull aggro. Here comes the teleports. Here comes a ton of damage. Holy cow, he's already gone. Amazing. Does flash to get away. The heal helps a bit. And Izuhun did cancel the teleport.
Yeah, so both mid laners failing teleports on side lanes here, and it is equalized. But the big rotation from SKT, they were already in transit with the duo lane, so the tower doesn't go down afterwards. SKT hold on to their objective lead, and Soaz has to...
He has flash though. A nice black shield stops the knockup. So it doesn't even have to flash away. There's no chance to kill him. It's not enough magic damage in the kit to break the black shield.
Yeah, good play there for Origin, just preserving the flash on Soaz, relying on the black shield against the Tom Kench, and it was actually Expeke that cancelled Easyhoon's teleport in the mid lane. He got stunned out of that because signature move, you're gonna dive top. Well, Expeke, all he has to do is find the Hoon, stop his teleport, because he himself can't follow.
Yeah, not that big a deal. I think Easyhoon wouldn't have been able to get much done up there, but the blue steal is very important against Anivia,
And it went to
denying that resource from Peke in the mid lane. He does get the shove into lane and might be able to wall off Easyhoon from one minion wave, though.
It is good against Anivia, but let's not forget Peke.
Oh, this
here.
Nice play though. Force the flash, still lands a stun. Amazing. Oh no!
No.
Overextends. He's missing flash. Soaz gets some damage in, and all is well. Nothing too bad picked up. But now look at the bottom side. Soaz has teleport. Marin once again being attacked. Here comes the aggro. Wow, a big minion chunk gone. And Mithy had aggro. A nice double slice and dice. More slows in for the team, and they just keep stacking everything in. But Wolf is here for the save. Soaz maybe went a little bit too far. All is well. Man saved. Peke meanwhile turned into an egg, and the push comes in.
Oh!
But Amazing is here. The two-man knockup trades onto Bang. Mid laner for AD carry. And Amazing still in the chase, but no one's around to
So
make this
as
still happen.
Mithy are heading up, but fairly far away still.
Amazing taking more damage than he probably needed to.
The unburrowed rain turf right there.
I think it might have still been on the cooldown.
I believe the timer was timed out.
Well, meanwhile, though, Marin back to the bottom lane. Wolf was nearby this time around, though. They know to hide back. Soaz will not find the dive. Meanwhile, top lane just has waves and waves crashing into the turret, suiciding me. Here comes the push towards the backside. Can they find Easyhoon? No.
They found him. He's in the mid lane.
He's in
Great.
Kench's belly.
In the mid lane.
Yeah, really good dives here set up by Origin. Good execution for Marin to make it out of there alive. Really playing in front of the tower and then double dashing his way out of there. Just in time for Wolf. They did deny the blue buff unexpected. Let's see why he went down here. Just not respecting and Bang being MIA. A really good use of Sivir ultimate and aggressive flash to take down Expected egg.
Yeah. But if Peke was willing to flash, he needed to flash Shockwave. So just a great pickup there by Easyhoon. And okay, that re-engaged to at least trade 1-for-1. A great play by Amazing. So he's getting a much better game than he was in game 1.
Something we've seen from Origin overall, though, where they're setting up a really solid play at one side of the map and they're just simply not respecting the other side of the map enough.
Wolf and Bang have made very quick recalls to swap between lanes, and the Tom Kench has already saved many alive.
All said and done, the Origin are up 1 kill total right now. And the mind game of when will Riposte come out continues to evolve. So as this time didn't even press it. And Marin didn't even try to stun. Fun to watch them go back and forth with mind games there.
Another
Giant lead for Marin.
Another interesting point about Marin is that the champions he's been selecting, Renekton and Fiora, over and over here at Worlds, are champions that build into Tiamat. Tiamat is such a crucial part of how SKT control minion waves. It's crucial to their game plan that Marin, as the captain and as the one who gets the experience lead early, is able to quickly clear the minion wave and then make his map movement afterwards to keep up the extra pressure that SKT try and work with. Tiamat already completed here for him, and he has a huge CS lead to work with.
Better damage on a Wolf, but all is well. Bang had popped the ulti to keep the chase going. Easyun does have Shockwave, but Mythy is around with the chance of Black Shield. Peke is out of mana, though. He can no longer slow anyone down. Dodges the tongue, all is well. Bot lane's getting pushed in, no one's holding it.
Scuttle crabs are very important, yes. So, 4 people mid for SKT. They're trying to trade bottom lane for mid lane pressure here. And with Peke out of mana, I think they'll be able to make the trade.
Yeah, look at the hesitation from Niels. He pathed actually away from that bottom lane tower into the triangle, saw the pink ward, doesn't have time to kill it, now returns back to the bottom lane. And this is the key difference that we've seen in these teams. Incredibly decisive map movement from Origin overall and SKT. They get away with murder here.
Yeah, that turret is the repercussions of stealing the blue buff. Niels sticks around bottom, doesn't get the turret, and has to make a move up the river.
And they might literally get murder then, as Niels is now beset by a bunch of champions. Rocket Jump comes in, not enough to knock down Bang. Great play by SKT.
Set, little bit of extra pressure, chain reaction. Starting 5 minutes ago when they steal the blue buff, continually attack mid to burn Peke's mana, get him out of the mid lane, no wave clear, and they're able to get multiple objectives off of it while keeping all of their outer turrets up.
Yeah, and this is why this Tahm Kench pick fits so well in SKT's playstyle, and especially in this composition. You have a top player that likes being alone 1v1 in the fight. You have a Sivir that is utility AD carry that likes quick pushing waves, rotate quickly between lanes. Tahm Kench can show up behind these towers and really find yourself in positions where you usually don't expect to be ganked from. Really quick rotations, really quick pickoffs, and that's the way SKT likes to play. Open up the map, 1-3-1. Wolf, he's somewhere in the middle. Early game with Shen, that's what he wanted to do, defend against these picks. Now he wants to make them with the Abyssal Voyage.
And think about it, these champions all fit the same thematic, and in this game, SKT was willing to trade away that Rek'Sai. And yes, Amazing's had a better game this time than in game 1, but look at what Wolf has done. He's saved multiple teammates now with the Devour. He's made at least one pick now with that ulti. And here we go again, easy dragon pickup for SKT and trade for top turret.
They still have time on Origin's side though. By no means is this gold lead that important. If you can keep it within the 2,000, 3,000 margin, you have Anivia with the incredibly well-scaling late-game build, really good kiting champion later on too. You have Niels who will scale at least even with Bang, and then Fiora will most definitely outscale Renekton. So SKT, they're playing on a bit of a clock.
Anivia also is troublesome for Sivir as well, as far as AD carries go. So if Peke can hold his own, he is keeping up in CS while giving up turret ground.
And it's a really late game scaling team, of course. Tristana, long-ranged, high auto-tech uptime, and Nivea stacking up both tier and Rod of Ages, so a lot of room to grow, but with SKT being so good at closing out games, they are ahead. This is risky for Origin.
We'll have to see if Origin gets caught moving up for wave clear. That's generally how SKT gets the most kills at this point in the game. People moving up for wave clear. We see some pings on the map. Wolf in the river.
Here's the thing. Marin doesn't have TP, so they're committing to the split push Renekton top. He's going to try and burn down the turret. Meanwhile, Peke actually moves over there to try and wave clear. So Origin should be able to get this bottom turret without reaction here really from SKT. Because Peke switched over to top lane though, mid lane does get a little bit of presence.
Marin doing what he actually usually does. He pushes up top, fakes the rotation to mid, then goes back top immediately. A lot of other teams will push up top, try and force something mid, realize it's not working, then move back. He already preemptively keeps moving in between his lanes and always ends up back on the solo lane, pushing, putting pressure.
And it's a strategy that's enabled by that early Tiamat that he always gets on these Tiamat-focused champions. You can annihilate the creep wave so quickly, then go into Fog of War, not give away any more information, keeps the enemy team guessing.
Schrodinger's crocodile.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it takes a bird with the eagle-eye vision going back and forth between these two lanes. Peke has been back and forth, wave clearing top, then mid, then top, then mid. He might have to go back there again. Bottom lane turret to go down at least.
And while we keep track of all these trades that SKT are making, the whole while, they're purchasing wards while they go on these moves through Origin territory. Every time they make a map movement through the jungle here, they're dropping off wards as they do so that in the next 5 minutes of the game, the next 3 minutes, they get more information on the counter moves that Origin are trying to build.
Yeah, an incredibly slow and methodical approach here from SKT. They're not getting any objectives. Origin, they seem fine, just keep wave clearing at their tier 2 towers, just saying, well, we're trading gold evenly somewhat. But eventually, that's when the lights go out, when it becomes dark, when all your current wards fade away. That's when SKT makes the play in the Fog of War.
Origin are looking for that team fight to turn it around. Right now, they're just trying to farm up. As we talked about, the scaling of Fiora, the scaling of Anivia.
Just get Baron wards. That's their only goal right now for Origin. Few wards far in between, just so they can figure out what SKT is doing and then pull back again and just try and make a pick, because SKT have overextended, just like Marin. He may be caught out here.
He's pretty far. EasyHoon does have teleport, but no one else is nearby. There's the ulti pop by Soaz, a flash by Marin to really get himself away. Summon a spell for ultimate.
I think Amazing sidestepped the slice, so he didn't proc the dice, and Marin was forced to flash there.
Yeah, when you gank Renekton, you never want to come from directly behind him, because it just enables his escape through the slice and dice. Always attack from the side.
Yeah, Marin wanted a double jump, but through Amazing's play, no dice. Great joke. Shut up.
Well, I saw you set up for it.
Yeah.
So excited.
You just kept talking, delaying it, making the punchline worse and worse.
Well, look at this. SKT, they return to 1-3-1, but they actually have Sivir in the bottom lane. A little bit more dangerous, so Bang is the one who has to retreat to Fog of War after trying to clear the minion wave.
Yeah, look at the difference, though, from Mithy and Wolf. Wolf's helping the strong side of the map here, defending that Baron vision. Mithy is just hovering around his AD carry Niels because he's afraid of a potential teleport, maybe Abyssal Voyage. They don't confide in Niels enough to be able to push that alone, so that means OG is playing the rest of the map 4 against 3.
They just saw Tom Kench on the Scuttle Crab by Baron, though, so they know have a few seconds to try and shove the wave. They rotated towards mid here, fishing for bindings at the turret.
So hard to siege into an Ori, though, at this point in the game.
Poses a lot of threat to these champions, and Origin get 2 caster minions up there before, oh, they're gone again. And EasyHoon is totally safe in the mid lane.
I think we'll just see a lot of fussle around mid and bot lane, just trying to push that in and secure the dragon. That is probably what Origin is looking for. They don't really want to give up a 3rd dragon. SKT, though.
Sivir will pop. Here comes Tom Kench. Wall in the side, and here we go. Who's going to get picked up? Stun only hits Wolf. A great rocket jump plus Black Shield means nothing is gained.
That was actually very good communication on Origin. They didn't use all of their cooldowns. Soaz held onto his teleport. Pekka said, I have flash. Don't worry. We're going to escape from this. Continue pressing. And Origin actually have the minion wave advantage. All 3 on SKT's side.
And he's going to look for Marin right there. Gets one of the... Oh, and he perfectly times the riposte. He stops the stun while getting one himself. He's looking to chase Marin, but cannot land another one. A nice bind on the side, but they just don't have the damage to kill him off just yet.
Wolf is on the way.
Around. Wolf can save. A nice knockup by Bangi. Amazing's in a really bad spot. Eaten up and taken away from his flash. That's a kill.
Miscommunication from Origin. That bind land, they could have killed Marin, but Amazing went in for the play while his Soaz and Mithy were already backing off, so really not on the same page there.
Meanwhile,
some disconnect.
Well, bot lane already pushed in. Bang was totally safe on that bot side. Gets rid of plenty of minion waves. You can see 188 minions on him. 2 item spike already there for the Sivir.
Yeah, let's watch this again. Soaz really good identifying that he's first to fight Marin here. He has the minions in case Marin wants to trade. He has his team coming up, and just keep your eyes on that binding from Mithy, if that's communicated or not, because Amazing really wants to go for this dive. This bind lands. At this point, Soaz could be diving Marin.
Also, Kench is trailing Amazing, but he's burrowed, doesn't see him until it's too late. The tremor sense triggers, and he knows,
champions coming,
that maybe they were on top of each other. Kench is a fairly large fellow.
I mean, the thing is, they don't show up in the mini-map, so if he's focusing on what's in front of him, he has to look at his own screen and scroll back down.
All right, no excuse. It was just poor. It was just a poor.
Yeah, just a tiny misplay. That's what we've seen from Origin before. They execute a lot of strategies in the mid game decently well, but then they make this minor slip up, whether it's some hesitation, face checking a brush here. So us, nope. Origin this time.
Oh, but he didn't realize who was there. It was only Marin who was hitting it. Wolf is around. Here comes the binding. He's going to miss, though. All the spell shots are going to whiff.
Just cover fire.
Bang's around on the backside. Of course, Bang does have ulti. 2-1-1 on him. Could start another fight. Top side. fairly similar items, and despite the fact that Marin had 2 deaths, he's got so much farm. Soaz again looks for the fight, will land the grand challenge all the way, but look how little damage he actually dealt. The lack of farm hurting him here. And the rest of the team is coming. Here they come for the fight. Wolf is low, but has the gray health. Niels will go down to Bang, takes the wrong take, and oh, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. 3 kills already. It's gonna be 4 before long. Amazing. He's gonna tunnel away. He will survive, actually. And now Bangi finds the dunk. XPeke is in a really bad spot. No flash. Shockwave's gonna land. It's gonna be 4 kills easily for SK Telecom T1.
That is such a huge swing. That is so difficult to come back from. This is going to be a Baron on top of it, and then SKT are going to take a commanding lead here. Peke had actually started to move up the river first, but didn't pull trigger the teleport. Easyhoon just teleports right in there, and they cut off Origin as they're trying to come in and help.
Problem for Origin is they're trying to get rid of this split push situation they're finding themselves in by collapsing on Marin first. This is not the first time we have people collapsing on Marin. Look at Amazing and Mithy on your minimap. The problem is, if you force SKT to play on 2 lanes or just a single lane, you will be caught into a team fight. And you look at Niels right here. He's pathing through the brush with no vision, focusing Wolf. Bang! Just takes him out immediately. Just a little bit of damage from Bangi there. And at this point, the fight is lost because Wolf denies the death on Renekton here. Amazing has to path out, and Expected, just as we pointed out, isn't even in the fight.
Yeah, Tahm Kench's biggest power is nullifying cooldowns of the enemy team and nullifying damage output of the enemy team. The burst from Niels, his combo was used on Tahm Kench, then Bang arrives and gets to use his full 80 carry combo to win out in that duel, and Wolf still has enough health to survive and go save Marin. Soaz, meanwhile,
he's got enough to go kill off Soaz now as well. Soaz blocks only as slow with riposte, does dodge away from Bangi's knockup and all as well.
Soaz has done a good job of getting himself out of very dangerous situations.
Yeah, Origin correctly identifying Marin as a shot caller and front runner on a lot of these map-wide plays from SKT, trying to collapse him in early before the split push sets in, relying on Expected being able to wave clear in a numbers disadvantage, but Marin showing why he's such a smart player. He very rarely gets killed in these exchanges. He may seem to get caught, but he's always manages to find a way out.
Not only does he avoid getting killed, he always earns this, look, 3-level advantage over Soaz, annihilating the minion wave, moving on, and keeping up the pressure. Now down bottom, he's going to try and split push while the rest of
He's actually fighting Niels.
Keep up pressure.
Niels has to run. Meanwhile, topside's getting saved. Niels is definitely going to die. There's the Origin swag, and just like this game, it looks like they might have their second loss.
Again, SKT as a team, they turn around bad situations in their favor. Marin gets collapsed upon while he disengages. Then instead of letting people base, he trails, finds one guy still trying to base there, Niels on the minimap. He dashed in, got him low, and on the other side of the map, they're pushing in, using On the Hunt for even more pressure. Origin, they just don't know how to deal with this. All they have is wave clear from Anivia, but it's so hard to do that into the Baron buff.
And they slowly keep these turrets alive. They still drop, though, and of course, Marin, who had already won the 1v1, getting plenty of damage down to the bot side. He's still got a Baroned up wave. This will be another turret picked up, so SK Telecom up 6 turrets to 2, 9 kills to 3. They've got almost everything they could want in this game. Even Bangi invading into Amazing's jungle while his 80 carries back in base.
They've cleaned up everything outside of inhibitor turrets of the Origin base so far.
I do like what Origin's trying to do, though. They're the first team, really, that tries to fight SKT before they get the entire split push down. Split push as a strategy is very weak when you're trying to set it up. If you get all 3 lanes pushing at once with some wards in between, you generally lose out once you collapse on a single lane. So they're trying to hit Marin before he gets going.
Before those wards come in.
They're just not executing it all that well. And then, most importantly, they don't back off on a bad play. Like on top, sometimes you just gotta let him go. Do that.
And of course, part of it did go well, right? Marin started out 0-2-0, but as you mentioned, the misplays. Now he's 2-2-1. Marin was always up in CS, even with all those deaths. He was routinely outlaning Soaz, and Kobe, you talked about picking for a lane matchup to hold down Riven. Maybe Soaz would do it. This time, Marin's doing it, and yes, he won the lane matchup, and this Fiora, down 3 levels, can't win the one-on-ones.
Origin's main goal right now is just holding on, making it 10 more minutes into the game, trying to wait for the scaling. Look at
Fatigue
that.
your opponent.
Almost a 5,000 gold Baron power play, this one from SKT. Dragon stacking is going to get to be a problem as well. So Origin, the timer is ticking. It's very difficult for them to hold on because SKT have been diligent in keeping up the dragon stacking as well. as the lane pressure. Number 4 going to come very, very quickly here. This one will go uncontested, and Origin may make a stand at number 5.
A patient player by SKT, pushing all lanes, warding in between, they back off, and they get another dragon uncontested. So Origin, yeah, waiting for that 5th dragon, maybe sneaking a Baron fight somewhere, trying to pick somebody off. But it's getting incredibly hard in these team fights to start winning them. The shield's coming out from Easy. If that's on cooldown, you still have Devour. Because of the fact that they're actually trailing ahead in gold, Marn is not losing this late game matchup for Fiora into Renekton. So it's very hard to find a win condition right now for Origin, other than a major mistake from SK Telecom.
And this team is not known for major mistakes. SKT, so good at closing out their games. Dragon 4 picked up already, so another minion wave clears even faster. 50% bonus damage to minions for Dragon 4. Bangi starting to really push forward. The wards, very good from SKT right now. Many down to that bottom jungle. Starting to come down to the left side as well. Amazing says, hey, you're taking away my jungle. Could you stop that? Bangi says, no.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna leave around the most annoying jungle smite. SKT take over the Wolf Wisp. Bangi has been unperturbed by the Gragas global ban here. He's performed so well on this Jarvan. The jungle targeting has not been an issue for SKT at all.
Yeah, 3-man knockup in the first game, really winning one of those fights there. Origin right now, they're grouped. If you look at itemization too, Mithy forced to go for, yeah, nullification of that Silver ulti with Talisman.
One more hit would do it, and the turret does go down. A flash force away from Peke. And oh, wow, the damage from Bang nearly kills off Niels, and who got a fight on the side. But Bang had already picked off the kill thanks to red buff. So as forced to flash. Boomerang Blade will not quite land, but it comes back, and Bang with dissonance will pick up that kill as well. There's a double for him. The rest of the fight continues. Peke knocked up, stops the Glacial Storm, and now that egg has nothing to do but get hatched. As he's attacked and killed. Back into an egg, back into Anivia, dies anyway. 3 for 0.
A complete stampede here from SK Telecom. Pops on the hunt. Origin already used their disengage tools to secure that tower. Wall was used, ultimate from Peke was on a minor cooldown. Then Niels is caught off running away. Niels needs to be able to stand still and trade, then maybe he can win. But if Bang gets 2 uncontested autos, at that point, all you can do is
crits. Bang has been rolling deep in crits this game.
Roll the dice.
Better dice than Marin certainly in this game, but he's been wave clearing down to the bottom side. 3, 2, and 1, still the ever-potent split push threat that Origin have yet to deal with all series long.
Yeah, and then once you disengage, usually that's enough distance to cover. But then again, Anivia's so weak. Wall is down at this point. If they had Wall, they could disengage you. Good aggressive flash from Bang, and yeah.
You got the auto crit and reset crit as well.
2 and 4. Still takes 4 autos. Ended up 50-50, but yeah, just great chase down. And Soaz can't even 1-2 on the AD carry.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine what happened last game when Marin fought Niels.
It was an AD carry with the shield there from Orianna, though, helping him a little bit. But at the same time, I like the Abyssal Voyage too against Anivia, because once she disengages, you can close a lot of distance getting behind enemy lines. All you need to do is slow her down, and that's what Wolf has been doing repetitively in these fights. Marin found himself behind Amazing, though. Pincer here from SKT.
Baron is already going down, and rapidly at that, it's down to 1,000 and an easy pickup. SK Telecom, their second Baron of the game. The first one got him a lot of turret kills. This one could win them the game.
With mid lane already open, it should be easy for SKT to keep up the pressure here. Soaz actually will even have a hard time 1v1ing Bang here. Bang doesn't have summoners though, so that would be his one hope. His ward does see Wolf though, so there goes all of that hope.
And he can QSS Grand Challenge anyway. We've actually seen now both times the AD carry getting QSS, or at least Mercurial Scimitar, 4th items because of the Fiora matchup. In later game team fights, Soaz will cut a wave down. That is something gained for Origin, a bit of time. But this wave must be killed if to do anything.
Yeah. And again, Marin consistently away from his team. Just split pushing in the bot lane right now. He took away red buff. He's always moving first to keep an additional lane pushing. Never commit to a single lane.
Spell shield's down. Bang gets caught, but eaten away by a wolf. Stun did not land for Peke. Did not buy him the time they needed. Bang pops ulti and the team runs away.
Yeah, and they can't afford to chase all the way through, make it a potential collapse with Soaz because there's so much pressure from Marin already in the bottom. Now he's done pushing bot lane. He's TPing top.
Blue trinket even used to spot him. Soaz has to take the long way around. It will buy a bit of time for Origin as the rest of the team is chasing Soaz. He's still trying to run. Command distance buys even more time. Wolf's on the run. Soaz does have one more jump. Gets some damage. Gets a riposte. And he's gone.
Because SKT were pushing all 3 lanes there as well, there's nothing that Origin could get while Soaz was running around. Peke tried to go top and add an extra wave of pressure top, but that's only a few minions, won't kill a turret or anything.
And that's the playstyle.
SKT return bottom, yeah.
Push every lane. If you do lose a fight, which is where, on itself, for SKT, there's very rare occasions where teams can actually capitalize with an additional objective. You lose a fight around Dragon against it, or you win a fight around Dragon against SKT, yeah, you can take a Dragon, but almost never can you take another tower, and that's why they came into this series without having dropped a single tier 2 turret. Origin, with some creative shot calling, some really good laning phases so far, have breached those towers. They've actually gave SKT a run for their money, but still, in the late game, SKT showing just complete dominance of macro level shot calling too.
You talked earlier about how hard it is to siege against Orianna. It's even worse siege against Anivia, and SKT have still managed to crack a good portion of this base by pushing those other waves down as well.
So critical that they were able to get that mid inhibitor turret down, because once you have Baron buff now, it just flows right in.
Also, yeah, SKT doing a good job just sieging other lanes than Anivia to never commit 5 mana to Anivia lane, because then wall and ult just get too much value. Marin consistently split pushing, and you can see so far ahead.
This is Dragon number 5 that will get annihilated really quickly.
Whoa! Already 1 kill picked up. Make that 2. No, amazing. Just barely slinking away, and a big wall says no thank you. But that's a Dragon 5 that goes to SKT, no problem. Meanwhile, Soaz doesn't get the memo that the team disengaged. He's going to be an easy kill. Goes over to Wolf.
Yeah. Push all lanes, deny vision, and wait for the imminent face check. And OG were forced to make this play. This was probably their best play, and hope that SKT made a mistake in their warding. But right now, Peke.
Nice QSS. I don't believe it blocked the double E damage, but either way, Peke forced to run away. Marin now next up in the chase.
Tag.
A flash. There's the hit. That egg's not going to be long for this world. It will turn back into Anivia, and the question is, can Peke make the outplay? Marin, nice stun.
Yeah.
Can't re-engage the Q to make it stun the target. Beautiful play right there. Good knowledge of the mechanics. And now the push continues. SKT inside the base. There's the dunk. It blocks it amazing. A nice shield from Orianna. Still on the push forward. Origin forced to run away from their own base.
Well, SKT are going to move right in then and take down Nexus turrets.
3-16, all is well for SKT. Nexus turret number 1 goes down. Dragon 5 picked up. It makes the push easy. Individual play made it all happen. In perfect unison, the swag comes out. And SKT are 1 game away from their 2nd World Championship final.
The synchronized flag spam right there. Probably the best that we have seen yet as well.
I've
Definitely
seen
the best.
some really good penta icons there in group stages.
I'd
Add some
challenge
flavor to the dying Nexus, but overall, yeah, this was one of the signature compositions that Origin ran in group stages. A lot of success found in that Anivia composition, but many people question its use in this matchup because it plays into SKT's strengths. You go for the slow late game approach from Origin. Yeah, sure, maybe you may be good at that, but you just give away too much in the laning phase, get too far behind, and you see how well SKT plays around vision control in between lanes, vision denial mostly. Origin, they only found 3 kills in this entire game.
And unlike the first one, there was no sizable early game lead for these guys. Yes, a great level